think MVL, and we spoke about this yesterday, the thing that's working in his favor very much is that he is perhaps the one person in the field who can breathe easy in terms of qualification for Brazil. If he still had to fight tooth and nail for his qualifying spot, and he did not beat direct competition, because Levon is also very much in that mix, you know.
Exactly.
So those points count double.
Right.
Positions. Wesley goes e5, which I guess is still the main move in this position. c6, e5 is a very serious alternative, but bishop e5 is the main line. Knight of 3, e6, bishop e2, knight e7, castles h6. Also notably, c6, c5 I think stands quite well currently, and if you want to equalize move by move, you probably play c5. When you play these positions with knight e7 and h6, what you're saying is, I want a full-blooded fight. I probably will not be, strictly speaking, equal out of the opening, but very often all 32 pieces stay on the board until move 20. And those positions are incredibly complicated to play, so we welcome this with open arms. Was this your approach when you...
No, instead of h6, after castles, c5, and I played my match with Spassky. I think Boris actually played a very gentle approach. He played c3.
This is very critical.
Yes. And I went knight on e7 to c6, bishop e3, and away we went from here. And I really felt I had no problems. I'm on the black side of my French with my bishop on f5. What's the problem? But as you were pointing out, c2, c4 is absolutely vital.
And then after knight e6, there are these absolutely
manic
lines, starting with d5, d4,
right.
a4. I have a very sad story about this line, because...
did you forget your analysis?
No. In probably my worst ever Olympiad, which I think was my final Olympiad, and I can understand the management, frankly. We were playing the Czech Republic, and I was, I think, quite on board too. And I asked the coaching staff, and we had very, very good, hard-working coaches there, to give me a file, because I was playing Lasnička, who is a very strong Czech grandmaster. He played this exclusively. You could prepare very deeply, knowing you will get it. And they gave me a huge file in this position I just described. But the thing is, in my own games, I always played knight bd2 in this position, keeping some sort of flexibility, because you can maybe imagine some cases, very strange edge cases, where you can save a tempo by using the f1 square prior to castling. Yeah. But I had this huge file of castle c5, c4, as I mentioned.
Right.
And then I got to the board, and he played knight e7, and I just automatically played knight e2, he played c5, and I thought, why am I not getting the positions I just repeated for an hour? And then it dawned on me that no, I'm not getting them. Nothing works anymore. And I lost that game with white.
Oh, no.
It cost us the match. And as I mentioned, like I can sort of understand the management of inviting me to play for the national team since then. But yeah, back to
another moment. Sorry, I just get this one in. Before h6, another approach I had is especially...
pieces towards your king.
That actually looks dangerous after rook b7 because the a pawn becomes a queen so quick, and we don't have a check yet.
I would be with you if your king was on g6 and you could sacrifice a piece, and gosh knows.
I'm walking right into checkmates.
Yeah, that's the problem.
With the king on g8,
something to consider. King f1, f5 on the board. Is Alireza down to his usual 5 minutes?
6 minutes against 19.
Okay. Yeah. But he's already at move 30-ish. Okay, so it's not as bad as the previous 3 games for Alireza.
What price for king e2, knight f4, king f1, knight e3?
That's
that can
not.
Happen, actually.
Yeah, that's not unreasonable. I mean, that's not unreasonable. But
Can black refuse the draw and keep playing? After king e2, what else could we do?
Well, the problem as I see it is that you want to play king d2 and you really want to play e3. And I'm 100% with Peter. The rooks are closed. Look at the rooks. You know, they're biting at the bit, chomping at the bit, sorry. The moment you play rook takes b7, a whole plethora of potential checkmates just instantly emerge. So I would be very reluctant to, rook c7, anticipating b3. I'm not. I don't know. Don't sign me up for that. I'm not a friend of that kind of position. And Wesley taking his time.
So he's thinking rook a3 or king e2, right? Those are the two moves we're anticipating.
Exactly.
Honestly, g3 is such a machine suggestion. It feels so incongruous with what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Right.
It's completely on the other side.
Yeah, like we're not playing there. We're not afraid of a 4. Like I don't think it. Only if you really want to play king e2 and you absolutely aren't prepared to give up on g2, then maybe the idea occurs to you.
Yeah. How about you, Peter? King e2, knight f4, king f1. What's your? Is it a flip?
No, I don't think it'll happen. And if it does happen, I think Alireza maybe will start looking for something smarter than knight e3. Although it's difficult to figure out what that could be. The knight really belongs on d3. Maybe he goes king f8, king f7, and start threatening rook h8.
Right. For those of you joining us late, what is the first?
Bringing the score to 4-2 in White's favor.
Only 2 games remaining.